So, as we went through this,
rapper Travis Scott cleared of criminal charges by a grand jury over the deadly Astroworld tragedy. Just 2 hours ago, Houston's police chief and the Harris County District Attorney's Office showed the public the evidence presented to the grand jury from a 19-month-long investigation.
Tonight, we do have team coverage on today's decision. Aniele Ruiz and Matt Doherty all over this story today.
Let's start with Matt, who was at that press conference with Houston police in the DA's office. Matt.
Yeah, the grand jury determined that 10 deaths were not caused by any single individual. We're told investigators and prosecutors spent almost 2 years reviewing evidence and interviewing witnesses. Today, the Astroworld investigators gave us a sample of what was presented to the grand jury. Investigators say the 10 people who were killed died from compression asphyxia. They also called this slow compaction.
just to be clear, this was not a crowd stampede. This was not a stage rush. This was not a crowd surge. This was a slow compaction or constriction into this quadrant, resulting in collapses within the crowd.
2 of the dead were younger than 15 years old. Earlier today, the attorney for Travis Scott said HPD could have stopped the concert whenever they wanted. I asked HPD Chief Troy Finner if he had a response to that. He did not, only telling everyone to read HPD's final Astroworld report. Chief Finner says the entire investigation will be made public in the near future. Aniele Ruiz is at the courthouse. That's where the grand jury made its decision today. She also spoke with Travis Scott's lawyer. Aniele.
Well, that's right. A sense of relief, he said, and not just for his client, Travis Scott, but I'm sure for the 5 other people who faced a possible indictment from this grand jury. Now, take a look. We met with him outside of the grand jury room as he waited for any kind of news to be made today. Now, we know that HPD investigators presented evidence along with the DA's office to the grand jury, and after hearing that evidence, they found insufficient probable cause that Scott and 5 others committed a crime. The clerk's office document says it was an involuntary homicide investigation presented, but it's unclear what those exact charges were. Travis Scott's attorney said his client did nothing wrong. Matter of fact, Travis was very open with investigators and met with them for several hours, answered all their questions just a day after the incident. When we asked him if his client saw anything strange from the stage or why he didn't stop the concert sooner, here's what he had to say.
He sees nothing. In fact, that's one of the things we did present to the grand jury is the lighting scheme for that concert. There were hundreds and hundreds of lights, all of which were trained on Travis no matter where he was on the stage. Travis did everything the police asked of him, even though it was indirectly, but he did everything that was asked of him. And he closed the show exactly when they told him to do it.
We know that there are hundreds of civil lawsuits that have been filed against Travis Scott. One of those, the attorney involved in a civil lawsuit, did respond today. Bob Hilliard, an attorney representing Ezra Blount's family, said that there was a clear culpability and gross negligent conduct committed, though he found today disappointing once a Harris County jury is given an opportunity to see the evidence, they may be very well return a record Texas verdict against those defendants. But again, Scott attorney said his client feels a very relief with today's verdict, and of course they offer their condolences to the families involved in that terrible tragedy. Reporting live, Aniele Ruiz, KHOU 11 News.
All right, Aniele, thank you. On KHOU.com, you can read more on this investigation and about the 10 lives that were lost.